In this video, I'm going to be talking about the CSU career fairs and how to plan and prepare and be successful in them. You'll see in these four pictures that these are pictures from past career fairs, and so you can get just a feel for, what the ballrooms might look like, how people dress, and the types of booths that people have. And actually, sometimes it can be a bit crowded, so you just need to go prepared to be in that environment where there's going to be a lot of people, a fair amount of conversations and noise, and a high degree of interactions. These are the two career fairs that are coming up this semester. The first one is the All University Career Fair sponsored by the Career Center. It's on a Monday and a Wednesday, so September 29th and October 1st. 10:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon in the Laurie Student Center ballroom. And you'll notice that on Monday is going to be really focused on communications and business, liberal arts. This may be less applicable to environmental public health students than Wednesday, which is going to be ag, natural resources, biotech, and life sciences would be the most applicable. But first, I really encourage you to go on to Handshake and take a look at the employers who are coming, and it'll show the majors that they are seeking and the types of positions that they are hiring for. So take a look at both days and see which is going to be the most appropriate for you to attend. And then the second career fair happening this semester is the Engineering Career Fair, which is open to all students. It's happening on Thursday and Friday, October 2nd and 3rd. Same time, same place as the main career fair. I really do encourage you, again, to go on Handshake. Some of these are going to be really just specifically looking for engineering students and not looking at other majors, but some truly have positions for students in a wide variety of majors. So to make the most use of your time on those days, first go online on Handshake and see who's coming, and target 5 to 10 employers that you're going to speak with specifically, because they're looking for environmental public health students, rather than just wandering the ballroom on that day and encountering people only looking for engineers. So what happens at the career fair if you've never been, just to give you some information, my analogy is it always just reminds me of like a big cocktail party, but without any drinks. And it's just a way for people to get to know each other, to have a first meeting, decide if there's any mutual interest to continue a relationship, and then there's exchange of contact information, and then follow-up happens afterward. And when these recruiters are talking to students, even if if they're not accepting physical resumes, they're making these three piles in their brain. Pile A is students that they want to follow up with very quickly after the career fair because they think they'll be a good fit for the position and the company. Second one would be pile B, which is if we have time or if there's enough openings, then let's go to this second group of students. And then pile C is we're not going to follow up with this student, we're not interested. And so you want to do everything you can to be in pile A ideally, and if not pile A, pile B. And so that's where your planning and preparation will come into play. And then also bear in mind, this is a two-way evaluation. It's not just them deciding if they're interested in you. You're deciding, is this a company I want to learn more about, that I'm interested in working for? And that's, a big part of the reason that the companies and organizations are at the career fair is to have a presence with college students for long-term recruiting needs. And they're trying to put their best foot forward, trying to entice you to want to work for their organization. And then finally, a word about recruiters. Most of them are phenomenal. They're really awesome. They like talking to students. They enjoy talking about their company or their organization, and it's an easy conversation. But every once in a while, I hear feedback from students that, they talk to someone who was really awkward or rude or dismissive. And just please know that that's their issue. That's not about you, it's something about them. Maybe they're having a bad day. It was a long day. Maybe they've been to career fairs for 3 weeks in a row and they just want to get home to their family. Whatever their reason is for being possibly rude or dismissive, Don't let that taint your experience. Chalk it up to it being their issue and move on and go to the next employer, and don't let it bother you. Don't let it sit with you. Like all things career development, it's super important to be prepared. Don't go in blindly. Don't go in just hoping for the best. It's up to you to be prepared. Like one of my favorite movie characters here, Russell from the movie Up. Be prepared. Go on the Career Center's handshake. Know who's attending, what majors they are seeking, and the types of positions they have available. Second piece of being prepared is to prepare your introduction, your 1-minute elevator speech, as it's sometimes called. So when you're going through the ballroom and you are going from booth to booth, when you first approach an employer's booth, you want to have this introduction prepared, especially because some of them may take the lead in the conversation, but many of them are expecting the students to take the lead with this introduction. So you're going to prepare this introduction that includes a handshake, which definitely practice your handshake with your friends, family, roommates, professors, me. I'm happy to practice with you. Handshake and a smile as you approach the booth. Introduce yourself with your name, your major, your year in school or your grad date, and then your lead-in question. So for example, hi, my name is Erin Reichert and I'm a senior in environmental public health and I'll be graduating in spring of 2026. And I'm really interested to hear about the water quality internships with your organization. Other possible lead-in questions include, do you have any internships in your blank department? That might be environmental compliance, environmental health and safety, water quality, air quality. Doing your research will help you know what that lead-in question might look like. Are you aware of any opportunities related to environmental health and safety, environmental compliance, OSHA compliance, EPA compliance, safety, water quality, air quality, depending on what the company does, and again, do your research. And then finally, another question could be, who should I speak to be involved in a certain project that you learned about through your research? Or how do I get involved with the environmental health and safety program? Can you help connect me to someone in that division? Other possible questions, other than things that you wonder about based on the research that you did on the company or organization, you could ask, what are the next steps? Can I follow up with you? What's the best way to do that? See if you can get a business card from them. If nothing else, make note of the name on their name tag, so at minimum you have a person's name of someone that you spoke with. Who should I contact in your blank program? Safety, industrial hygiene, environmental health and safety, compliance, whatever it might be. And how do I get in touch with them? And another question to ask would be, are you able to access resumes in Handshake, or would you like me to email it to you or possibly even upload it in their system? Don't be discouraged if people don't ask for your paper resume, even though I do encourage you to bring copies of your resume so people can see it while you are there. But many of them will say, hey, upload your resume into our website, as that's just going to be the standard way that they collect and store resumes and even analyze them using AI types of tools. It's important to dress nicely for the career fairs. Most of these employers do understand that you are going to school and it might be difficult or really uncomfortable to wear a suit all day, but you definitely want to step it up from your normal day-to-day, yoga pants, sweatpants, hoodie, whatever that might look like, school wear. And so it gives examples here, button-up shirt, blouses, blazers, slacks, dress pants, and so on. So try to step it up from your day-to-day school wear. Wear something that you might wear to work in an office setting. Even though this isn't an interview situation at career fairs, be prepared that they might have some questions for you, so have some answers at the ready. What is environmental public health? Always be prepared to explain environmental public health and show them how it does fit into their company or organization. What are your career goals? They might ask, what are your 5-year, 10-year career goals? What do you want to do after graduation? What are you hoping to do with your degree? Why are you interested in our company or our organization or in this career field? Are you willing to relocate? And be honest with this one. If you aren't willing to relocate, say so. Or if you have certain parameters, definitely let them know that, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you don't want to relocate, but you told them you would. So, maybe it's, oh, yes, I'd be interested in locating to the western half of the United States. That would be of interest to me. Or no, I need to stay in Colorado. Or I'm open to going anywhere, but just know your limits and parameters and convey that if asked. And then finally, I hear this a lot when I wander around the career fair is, oh, we don't do environmental public health at our company. Well, if they do manufacturing, if they've got EPA and OSHA wondering what they're doing, and if they have compliance, then they definitely do EPH work. So you might need to explain it in a different way. And yet again, this is how your research comes into play, because if you've already looked at how it fits into the company, you can explain that to them. And you might need to use different words than environmental public health. You might need to say something like EPA compliance or OSHA compliance or water quality, air quality, food safety, things along those lines, rather than as environmental public health. After you walk away from each booth, I recommend stepping aside, maybe out of eyesight of the person you just spoke with, and take some notes, because you might not remember those impressions an hour later or the next day. So write some notes. Who did you talk to? Remember the name on the name tag if you weren't able to get a business card, and write that name down. Write down what the next steps were. Was it to email a resume? Was it to upload a resume? Was it to reach out to a particular person? Was it to attend an information session? What are the next steps? And then also make note of what were your impressions. Were they friendly? Did they seem interested in EPH? Did they seem interested in your candidacy? What were some of the things you talked about during your conversation with them? After the fair, it's really important to do your follow-up. Remember at the beginning, I said this is just the beginning of a relationship, and it's up to you to keep that going if you aren't in pile A, for example. So tailor your resume after speaking to them and having that conversation, and email an updated copy or upload it into their database. If you are uploading it into their database rather than emailing it to them, I do encourage you to email the person that you spoke with, and with a quick thank you for taking the time to speak with me at the career fair this week. I just wanted to confirm that I did upload a resume into your company's database, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future about possible internships in water quality, environmental health and safety, air quality, food safety, whatever area that company works in. Mention continued interest. If you did research on the company after you had a chance to speak with them, you can let them know, after our conversation, I was really excited to learn more about your organization, and I had the opportunity to read about the blank project that you are working on, or a new initiative or something. But mention your continued interest in that company or organization. Be pleasantly aggressive. You don't want to be a pest and follow up every week if you're not getting anything in return. Give them a little bit of time. They're super busy. Sometimes these recruiters at career fairs just attend career fairs for a couple months at a time, and so getting to their email maybe happens less frequently than someone who's in the office all day. And so I recommend following up immediately after the career fair with whatever steps you were asked to take. And then if you haven't heard from them in maybe 3 weeks, then I would send another follow-up. And it also depends on maybe what date. If they said, oh, well, we'll do interviews sometime in November. If you haven't heard from them and it's maybe the couple of days into November and you haven't heard anything, that would be a great time to follow up. So you kind of have to use your best judgment just to make sure you're not bothering them, but you're still pleasantly aggressive. Don't rely solely on email. Making a phone call if you have their phone number is definitely a great way to reach out. And then also connect with them on LinkedIn. And when you connect with them on LinkedIn, you can send a message with the invitation and just say, you know, I met with you at the CSU Career Fair, and I was really excited to learn about opportunities in your air quality division. If you're going to follow up via phone, I've mentioned this previously that I recommend not following up on Mondays or Fridays. Mondays, they're too busy trying to get ready for the week. Friday, they're trying to wrap things up before they're out for the weekend. And so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, early in the morning, when people are first at their desk, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning is usually a really good time to follow up. And that's it for career fairs. I hope you enjoy your experience when you go to the fair. Do your preparation and things will go really smoothly. And then coming up next in ERHS 479, next week we are going to be talking about interviewing for EPH internships. And then the following week we will be doing resume critiques and cover letter critiques in class, both peer-to-peer critiques as well as I'll have some alumni coming to class to take a peek at your resumes and provide feedback. So you should come in 2 weeks to class, prepared that September 23rd. Come to class on September 23rd with 3 copies of your resume and cover letter drafts. And they should be in pretty good shape by then because the assignment is due the following week, September 30th.